A massive thanks to EA for inviting us to a special presentation where we got to find out a lot more about Hazard Zone. We got to find out all the details about how the game's going to work, what exactly it is, what you're going to do in it, and that's what I'm going to explain to you in this video. They've put up a Hazard Zone trailer on their main channel, so if you want to check out the Battlefield main channel, you can watch the Hazard Zone trailer, then come back here to get all of the details about how this game's going to work. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe as always, and turn your notifications on, because I'm posting videos every weekday at the moment, so there's loads of stuff coming out about Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, as well as a bunch of other games that I'm excited about, so make sure you turn those notifications on. So in this video, what I want to do is explain to you what Hazard Zone is exactly, how a game works, and then at the end I'll give my kind of impressions, what I think about it so far. So the story for Hazard Zone is that in 2040, 70% of the world's satellites are destroyed, and so the superpowers start sending up these kind of temporary satellites to gain intel, and they come down and the hard drives need to be collected. So that's what you're doing in this. You're going with a team to go and pick up these hard drives and then try and extract. The places that you're picking up the hard drives from and then trying to extract from have storms that are getting worse and worse, because that's part of like the setting for Battlefield 2042 is that the world is being ravaged by these storms with the tornadoes and everything, and tornadoes will be in this. So you only have a couple of opportunities to extract in each game, and if you don't get out, you lose everything. Now, what you're trying to do, the kind of goal in a Hazard Zone match, is to pick up as many of these data drives as you can by finding the crash satellites, interacting with them to get the data drives out, picking up as many as you can, and then extracting in one of two extraction opportunities, and a bit more of that. It's all taking place on the multiplayer maps that we've seen already, so it's like there's not a special Hazard Zone map, it's just the normal maps, and you're going to be up against either 6 teams on the previous gen consoles or 8 teams on the current gen and PC. Now, on top of playing against other players, you're not actually like trying to kill other players. The other players are kind of there to fight over the resources, to fight over the drives and the extraction, but that's not the goal of it. There are also occupying forces, so there's going to be AI soldiers on the map that you can kill. I assume they're going to be a lot easier than normal players. I'm assuming they're not really going to be like the bots, they're more going to be like AI soldiers that you'd find in a single player FPS, something like that. And so they're about as well that you can kill, or you can try and avoid them, whatever you want. So we'll talk through how a game works. Now, the first stage of it, this game's split into kind of 5 stages. The first stage of it is where you prepare. So you're going to be with your teammates, with 3 other teammates. So you're in a squad of 4. And first of all, you have to pick your specialist. Now, you can't double up specialists. So everyone's got to be a different one, which means you can't like all decide to be Boris, so you've got 4 turrets defending the extraction or something like that. You have to choose all different ones. Then you can choose your weapons and your gadgets. When you're choosing weapons and gadgets, they're all going to cost dark market credits. So if you want to take in a better gun, it's going to be more credits, and these credits are the things that you get as a reward from the end of the mission. So if you do well in a mission, in the next mission you'll be able to take in better guns, better attachments maybe, better gadgets, stuff like that. Now, there's also tactical upgrades, so there's going to be a limited number of slots for these, and there's 15 upgrades at launch, but I'm guessing they're going to add more as it goes on. There's a couple of free ones, like you can start with a bit of armor, or you can get some extra credits when you kill occupying forces, when you kill those AI characters. But then by you spending dark market credits, you can get things like reinforcement, squad reinforcement uplinks, which let you bring back players after they've died, a quick draw holster that lets you switch weapons quicker, faster healing, things that let you spot enemies for longer, things that let you carry more of the data drives, or things that reveal the data capsules before they land, things that give you extra information or kind of buffs on the battlefield, stuff like that. So you pick your loadout, you choose how many dark credits you want to spend, which is kind of gambling really. It's like deciding, okay, I'm going to spend all of this to get the best weapons and best tactical upgrades, and then hoping that I'll get loads of data drives and be able to get out at the end. Or you could choose to not spend any money at all, so you're not really risking anything when you go in. It's entirely up to you. Then you'll deploy, and when you deploy, you don't get to like drop in or anything like that. There's kind of a preset deployment station, and then you're going to have to start finding these data drives. So the data drives are in these capsules that drop in. I think they're going to be kind of random across the map. One person on your team probably should take the scanner. There's a scanner device that you can have that will help you find them. If you don't have them, I'm not entirely sure how you're going to find any, but you'll go to each of these places and then have to fight the AI, maybe other players, to rescue these data drives, to retrieve them and secure them. and each player is only going to be able to carry so many of the data drives. Now, there's an interesting twist on this, that data drives further into the match are worth more. So the ones at the beginning are going to be worth a little bit, then as the match goes on, they get increasingly valuable. Now, halfway through the game, there's going to be the first extraction opportunity. So a condor is going to come and land somewhere on the map, and one team can escape using that condor. You only need one player from your squad to get on the condor to escape, but you're going to try and get there, and if you can escape, then you get to keep all of the credits that you earn from the data drives that you've collected so far. Now, obviously, if you evacuate in that first one, you're missing out on all of the later drops, the later more valuable data drives that are going to be happening later. So if you want, you can stick around instead and decide to risk it to try and be the team that evacuates on that last extraction. So you'll get to play a bit more, get more data drives, and then the last extraction, the second one, that condor's going to come in, and then obviously all of the remaining teams are going to be fighting over who gets to extract, who can get one player onto that condor to get away with everything. If you're not one of the players that gets to extract, if you're one of the teams that don't manage to do it, you lose everything. You lose all the data drives that you had, you lose all of the gear that you took out with you, all of that stuff is gone. So there's a real kind of risk reward about how long you want to stay, how dangerously you want to play it. The more danger you put yourself in, the more risk you've got of losing stuff. That all sounds a bit like Hunt Showdown, where, like, you know, you can spend money that you get from missions on weapons and things like that to give yourself a better chance, but if you die, you lose everything. It's also interesting that it means two teams could potentially win a match of Hazard Zone, could evacuate with it, or no teams could. Maybe no team will actually manage to get to the evacuation point in time, or they'll all kill each other, and that means everybody loses. It's kind of an interesting mechanic. It's not really a battle royale, because there's not this element of one team having to survive or having to fight everybody else, but there's definitely, I think it's going to have that kind of feeling a little bit as you go through. There's some other interesting things about it, some other interesting notes. When you get downed in this game, you can actually crawl about, you can move about a little bit, which is a bit different from the all-out war modes. So you're going to be able to crawl around, but if you die completely, you'll just be thrown into spectating like you would in a battle royale game, unless your teammates have one of those uplink things, so one of these gadgets that will let them buy back a teammate. And you can buy them, like I said, when you're preparing at the beginning, or apparently you can even find them on the match. I think you'll be able to find some of these upgrades and gadgets dotted around the map, and maybe some better weapons and stuff like that. I'm hoping that would be pretty cool. Overall, my thoughts of it are that, yes, it's not a battle royale, that's good. It seems like something new. Bit Escape for Tarkov, bit Hunt Showdown, like I thought. I'm excited for it because, like, I think some small squad action for Battlefield 2042 could be really cool. In the 128 player modes that we got to play in the beta, I got this feeling like my contribution didn't matter that much. Like, if I did really well or I did really badly, it didn't really matter, because you've got like another 63 people on your team. Something where you're on a very small team, I think that's going to be much tenser, that's going to be much more exciting, a little bit more hardcore perhaps, because everything that you're doing kind of really matters. You don't want to let your team down, but I think it could be a lot of fun. I'm hoping as well, the lack of kind of easy respawns and stuff, the fact that you've only got that single life, means people will play a bit more tactically. People might use the gadgets and the specialists in an interesting way. That could be really fun. The trailer had some snippets of kind of really spectacular gameplay. I thought the maps looked really good. They looked very cool. But I do still have that concern that we're only a month away from launch now, and we still haven't seen any extended gameplay of any of this. We still haven't seen extended gameplay on any of the maps except for Orbital either. And that kind of worries me a little bit. Even some of the stuff in this trailer was like, I don't know if it's CG exactly, but it's definitely kind of not in-game stuff happening, with special animations and things like that. And it just worries me that, like, what does the game actually look like? I'm hoping over the next 4 weeks they're going to show a lot more. In this presentation they did say that this was just a teaser of Hazard Zone, so I'm assuming over the next 4 weeks we're going to get some proper looks at this, maybe some gameplay streams. I'd like to see some full matches. I'd like them just to release some videos of people playing a full match, maybe from a couple of different viewpoints, or maybe they could stream some on Twitch. That would be really fun to watch, just so we can see what this really looks like. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments about Hazard Zone. Do you think it sounds like something you're going to play? Is it something that sounds exciting to you? If you've got any more questions about the mode, we got given a bunch of information at once, so I might have some more answers for you. If you have any specific questions, just leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.